Has the GRDP got your head spinning? Are you wondering what you should do, or perhaps you're wondering if it even affects you or not? If you are running a business in North America, then the GDPR is all about the EU. Does it really affect you? Before you roll your eyes at yet another message about the GRDP, stick around, because I'm going to share valuable, important information that all businesses need to have in place in order to be compliant with the GRDP. If you have any kind of online presence, no matter where you are in the world, you do need to be GRDP compliant, and I'm going to explain why in a second. My name is Susan Friesen. I am a web specialist, business and digital marketing consultant, and social media advisor with eVision Media. I bring you these Amplify Business eTips so that you don't have to struggle with the online complicated world that we find ourselves in. I need to make it abundantly clear that I am not a lawyer. I am only here to help clarify what we need to know in order to protect yourself and ourselves as business owners, and not just from the GDPR, but from CAN-SPAM and other privacy laws that every country is implementing in place. If you are unsure of what you need to do for your business to safeguard your business when you're operating online, consult a lawyer. So I just want to make it clear that I'm not a lawyer myself, but I am going to share 5 things that you need to know about in order to help safeguard your business. If you're excited about this broadcast or interested in hearing more about this, I would love to hear from you. Do share this with your followers as well if they are people that would really find this interesting too. It's something that every business owner, entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, doesn't matter where you at. If you are just a one-person show, you still need to know about this if you have a online presence. First of all, I want to ask you a question. Do you understand what the GDPR is all about? I know that there has been a flurry of an abundance of information about the GDPR. There's been conflicting messages. There's been people have been all over the map, wondering, worried, concerned, even kind of they don't really care. They don't think that it affects them. And so I want to know if you understand what it is. Just hit yes or no in the comment section. Another preface is that I'm specifically talking to solo entrepreneurs, small business owners. If you have a large corporation, or if you have an online app where you are collecting data, you're asking people to agree to the privacy policy and the terms and conditions before they can access your information, then you shouldn't be bothering to listen to this. You need to be consulting your lawyer. All right, so are you affected? Yes. If you have any kind of form submission on your website that has the possibility of someone from the EU signing up and entering their name and email address, then yes, this is about you. And that form can be many different things. It can be signing up for a newsletter or one of your free downloads, a free giveaway. It can be signing up for a webinar or teleseminar or telesummit even. It can be even a simple contact form that's on your website. It can be, to sign up and purchase a digital download program. And even if you have any possibility, like if you have a service-based industry, then, you might have clients who are in the EU. So, those people could be signing up and asking for more information about your services and things like that. And then even if you sell physical products online too, that's definitely where you're going to be affected. And so, there's lots of different places where we have to pay attention to this. But not only that, not just the form, it also affects you if you have any kind of tracking codes on your website, either Google or Facebook or affiliate links that where data is being compiled and tracked about the visitors who is visiting your website and what links links are being clicked on, like if it's an affiliate link, if somebody's clicking on that affiliate link, then that information is being tracked through cookies. And so this is especially relevant if you are or using a marketing company who is using that data to do retargeting with those ads, with Facebook and those kinds of ads, where if somebody lands on your website, the cookie is tracking them, and then they go to Facebook and they continually see ads about you. We just wrote an article about that retargeting, what that's all about. I'll copy and paste the URL to that article on our blog that explains what retargeting is if you're not sure about that. What does all of this mean to you? It's affecting those who live in the EU, and they need to have a clear understanding of what it is that you are going to do with their data. And that data, I mean their name, their email address, their geographics, where they're located, whatever information that you are collecting about them or what the cookie is collecting, that's what we reference as data. And so it affects those people who are living in the EU, but because of the online world that we live in, you can be in Timbuktu and still be reaching people who are in the EU. So that's why we are affected by this. Even though I'm in Canada, I could easily be having somebody in the EU signing up for our newsletter or what have you. Essentially, what the GRDP is telling us is that they need to know how their data is being used and how it's being stored, how secure is it. And they also need to have an easy way to be able to find out from you how their data is being stored, and also an easy way to tell you, I don't want my data to be stored anymore. So you need to make sure that you have an opt-out service on every bulk newsletter that you send out. Like, please do not send out newsletters in bulk through your private email address. You just can't get away with that anymore. So I'm just going to touch bases here. Has that helped at all? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes or a no. Are you still confused? Does that help? Do you have any questions about the GDPR that so far of what I've covered? If anything is unclear, let me know. What you need to do is not to panic. What has happened is the GRDP is mostly concerned about the big corporations that collect data. Think Google, think Facebook, think these big corporations that are collecting data, and what they're doing is they're using that data for marketing purposes, okay? So us as small business owners, solo entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, we're not the targets for the reason why GDPR was created. What you need to do to protect yourself is ensure that everyone in your newsletter list right now gave explicit permission to be there. So what that means is they have to add in their name and email address to that form submission themselves. Aside from that explicit permission, they also need to know exactly what they are getting and that you are not delivering anything different. So this is kind of important to hear. So many of us have like a free giveaway on our websites, and it's a list building exercise, right? And so we compel people to come to our website, sign up for that free giveaway. And then after that giveaway has been downloaded, we then keep in touch with them with either promotional messages or newsletters or what have you. So it's not enough just to say, sign up for my free giveaway, because that is all they have given you permission to do. And so if you also intend on using those names for ongoing newsletters or promotions, then that also has to be detailed at the time of signing up, that this is exactly what I'm going to do with your name and email address. Very important. So if you're thinking in terms of people who are existing already in your newsletter list, Think about that. Think about how they got there to begin with and what they were promised when they signed up for it. Then the other thing is to ensure that they weren't manually entered into your mailing list. Many people started to import their LinkedIn contacts into their mailing list, thinking it was a free-for-all. And really, that was way against many CAN-SPAM and our PIPEDA laws in Canada too. That really was not the reason why LinkedIn allowed us to download those contacts. But if you ever did that, then you need to be aware of it, and you need to fix this. If you purchased a list, heaven forbid that you did, but if you did, then you really are not compliant at this time. If they attended a webinar or or teleseminar or anything like that, and they weren't told at the time that they're also going to receive your ongoing newsletters and promotions, then you need to be aware of that. And so that's super important, how those people in your existing list got there. And then to kind of work with that, like, you have to fix that. And if you need any help with this, let us know. I mean, we've been working quite hard with our clients on getting them compliant and answering a bunch of questions. So if you need help, give us an email at info@evisionmedia.ca or private message us, and we're here to help. We can help you through this, so you don't have to navigate this all by yourself. Okay, so then the other thing that we want to make sure, or you want to make sure, is to ensure it is clear at this moment in time why people are being added to your list. So that was what I was talking about before, was people who are existing in your list, but from now on you need to make sure, absolute abundantly clear, why they're being added to your list, what they're going to get out of it. Like, if it is a free giveaway, you must also be clear on them receiving regular newsletters and promotions from you. So at the time of signing up, that has to be clear. And then the other thing that you have to make sure that you have in place, regardless of the past, is to make sure that you have a privacy policy on your website. And this privacy policy has to be worded in a way that makes it GDPR compliant. And again, we've been helping a lot of clients with this, writing up their privacy policies and implementing it on their website. So if you need help with that, let me know. And even if it is just a contact form page or a form where you are collecting information for a free consultation or something like that, they still need to know, what is it that you're going to do with my name and email address and all this information you're collecting. So that has to be detailed in the privacy policy page. Now, in conjunction with the privacy policy page, you also need to have, on that time that they are submitting the form, whether it's a little pop-up box or on a website or whatever, they need to have access to that privacy policy page. Now, there's two ways that you can do this. You can make it a checkbox, but you can't pre-check the box. It has to be a box that they physically check off, saying, I agree to the privacy policy and terms and conditions of this website. And then privacy policy is hyperlinked to the privacy policy page on your website. You can do that. You can probably bypass the checkbox and just have it worded a little bit differently, where it says, by clicking the submit form, I agree to the privacy policy and terms and conditions of this website. And again, the privacy policy needs to be hyperlinked to your privacy policy page. And you can make it so that it opens up a whole new window so that people aren't losing their place. That appeases the rules of people giving you expressed permission and agreeing to what you're going to be doing with their data. Okay, one more thing that we need to talk about aside from the forms is if you have any affiliate links on your website. Those affiliate links use tracking codes that will give them a commission. If a sale ends up resulting on somebody else's website, it's tracked back to their website. So there is tracking codes and cookies in place. In this case, if you use a lot of affiliate links, it is a good idea to have kind of a pop-up or a pop-under, and that's basically notifying your visitors that you do use cookies and tracking codes on your website, and by continuing on using this website, you are agreeing to our privacy policy that will give them it's giving you permission for them to keep going with the website. And again, the privacy policy needs to be hyperlinked to the privacy policy page. Sometimes it's just a pop-up, and other times they need to click the yes, I agree, and that will kind of make it go away for, I think it's up to like 30 days. You can set that. And so that's something really simple to implement. So let us know if you need any help with that. So you may have noticed an onslaught of companies emailing us, advising them of their privacy policy changes. Hands up if you were inundated last week and probably continuing on with those privacy policy changes emails. Or also let me know if you were one of them, if you had been advised to send out to your email list updates to your privacy policy change page. You might be wondering, if you didn't do it, whether you should do it or not. If you are a small business, solo entrepreneur, just one-man show or an entrepreneurship, the odds are that you do not need to send out this email to your list telling them that you've updated your privacy policies. Those kinds of things are only for the big data collecting companies. Basically what they're doing is they are covering themselves legally. They're making sure that you are aware of those policy changes because they're the targets. Their legal staff is telling them you need to cover your butt and you need to make sure that you send out to your list, make sure that they are aware of what these privacy policy changes are and that they understand how their data is being processed. For us small folk, don't worry about it unless, like I said, prefaced right at the very beginning, like if you are an app developer and you've got an app, then then definitely need to talk to your lawyer to find out where you stand. Okay, so I'm just talking about a small fry. The other thing that you may have noticed is that a lot of people have been sending out emails asking you to re-opt in to their list. Now, you might be wondering, do I need to do this as well? And the answer is maybe. So remember when I was talking about how you need to understand how those emails got into your email list to begin with. And if any of them are in there who are potentially from the EU that did not give explicit permission to be in your list, then you might have to send out one of these re-opt-in emails to your list. Now, ideally, you would want to work with your newsletter service provider so that you can segment out the people who have the EU IP address so that you're only sending that opt-out or opt-in email to those people who have an EU email address. But I know that sometimes that's not possible. And so I know I have received several emails from people saying, our records show that your IP address is either showing us that you're from the EU or we don't know where you're from. And therefore I need you to, or we need you to reconfirm that you want to receive, regular updates from us. That is kind of what you need to do in relation to the first part of what I was talking about is, if the people in your current list are GDPR compliant or not. And if not, then you might have to send out that email. One little tip, if you do have to do that, if you have no way of segmenting those people in your list, I highly recommend that instead of just making this template, I need to get you to re-sign up because we don't know where you're from. Make sure that they understand who you are and why should they re-sign up. We all know how inundated we are with newsletters and emails every day, right? So we can't, as a business owner, assume that people know who we are. And so make sure that you remind them, hey, you signed up for my newsletter list and got this free report. This is what I've been sending you. This is the reason why you should stick around and click this button to re-opt in, because I don't know if you're from the EU or not. Question, do you need to make any changes now that you know and understand a little bit more about the GDPR? Has this helped you in understanding Yes or no? Do you need to make changes, or are you good? Have you already made those changes? I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment in the comment section and let me know. If you need help in implementing any of these changes, then get in touch with our team. You can email me at info@evisionmedia.ca. We are also creating we have created a template, a privacy policy template. And so all we need to do is, quickly understand how you personally, your business is collecting that data, and we will modify that privacy policy template, and we can implement it on your website if you don't have a web developer to do that for you. Lastly, if you do want to keep up to date and on all of this marketing, website, online stuff that we as business owners have to deal with, I invite you to sign up for our newsletter, which is a weekly newsletter, and we write articles, and I do these video eTips, and provide some really good, solid information about how to be successful in your business, navigate the social media world, and navigate the online marketing world. So if you want that, we've got a free download to help you with your website, plus these regular newsletters. So just go to ultimatewebsiteguide.ca. Thanks for joining me. Truly appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.